Hello, my name's Dan and I work for Revival Fitness Rehabilitation. So today I'm going to go through a couple of simple, easy ways just to initiate some core contraction, particularly from a standing position. Okay, so for anyone who has trouble getting up and down from the ground, or if you're a parent with young kids and every time you lie down your kids jump on you, it's a really good way to start to get back some of that core control and strength, and just to kind of learn how to switch on these muscles again. So the key thing with these muscles is particularly between our pelvis and our ribs. We're just learning to engage and shorten that distance. And so there's a couple of ways we can look to do that. The first thing to do is from that bottom position is we need to shorten that distance. And often what we talk about is tucking our hips under or tucking our tailbone under. So from a side-on position, your hips, pelvis rotate around this point, this bony point. And what we're trying to do is tuck our hips under, almost flattening that bum, okay? So we tuck that under from the behind, we're actually going to lift up from the front, okay? That takes a little bit of work, control, particularly from the side muscles of the abs, okay? Once you've found that position, hips are under, your bum's nice and flat, you can then start to think about trying to keep our ribs down and tense through here. And it might be at the start where you're just looking at trying to find that position and using our mind control to kind of connect to those muscles. So we tuck our hips under, bring our ribs down, and then we try and brace. And this is often a feeling similar to when, if you imagine someone's going to punch you in the stomach, you're going to have that automatic reaction where you're going to tense up and tighten through those abs. So that's the first instance we need to kind of try and work on, that standing position, hips under, ribs down, and tighten. If you can't feel that, then another good way to try and help that is to create a movement to resist against. Often, when we try and bring our arms up in front, okay, and overhead, we're going to start to expand and lift up those ribs to do that. So from side on view, bring those arms up, and you can see how I'm going to start to kind of raise those ribs, going to create this arch in the back here, so we want to protect against that. So the idea of this exercise is we try and tuck our tailbone under, try and keep those ribs down, but if you can't get that movement on your own, you start to lift your arms up, and as soon as you see the ribs start to flare out and lift, that's when you need to kind of try and really hold those ribs down. So bring both arms up, hold the ribs down, bring the arms up as high as you can, coming back behind the head, to try and keep that position. And as we go through that, I feel my ribs want to start to pull up there, have a quick check, and keep them down, keep them in position, and trying to stretch overhead. And all the while I'm doing that, I'm going to start to kind of tighten up through those. So it might be a case of between 8 to 12 times, I'm going to bring my arms up overhead, trying to stretch that position, and then keeping those ribs in position there. So that's two early instances for trying to regain and initiate this core and ab control. If you do have any questions, let me know, flick me a message or drop me a comment. And yeah, get started, and I hope to see you get into those exercises and progress through a few more as we get going.